Okay. Oops. All right, welcome. Thank you for being here and welcome to this restorative practice. It's an opportunity to reset and restore and to rest deeply. And we all need that. As hard as sitting here beside me has to stop yawning. Like I know it, we all need that. We just need to rest. So welcome to this class. And let's start by taking your hands together. We'll just do this little warm up. Start to soften into your breath. Maybe your eyes want to close already. Good. Okay. And now start to take this to a circling. So you're still keeping the palms together, but it's almost like you're rolling something in your hands. Good. Okay. And then just to feel this energy in the hands, you can pause with the palms together and slowly start. You can even maybe feel a buzz there in your hands. So I don't want to rush this. Feel that. And then you'll slowly start to take your hands apart. And it's going to feel almost like there's a magnet there pulling them back. Just go really slow. And feeling into that electricity. And now start to roll it, just as we did with your hands apart, but as if you're rolling something in your palms. Just feeling that electricity, the magnetic energies you can feel between your hands. Okay, and now we're just going to hold it. So you just let the hands be whatever distance apart they want to be. And feel yourself holding, containing, and tuning into this energy that is you. Drop your inner gaze there, even with your eyes closed. Just be there with that presence of the unseen. And slowly let your hands come together as if they want to come together. You might feel like, oh, there's really something there. I can't bring the hands together. I mean, you can, but there's something there. What is that? There's something there. Okay, now try this. If you feel something between, you might have your hands together already, and that's just fine. You can pull them apart a little bit, but take a nice big breath in, and then just gently blow between your hands. And now bring your hands together, and whatever was there, it might still be there, but something has shifted with the breath. Okay. And then just settling into this seat, head dropping, chin dropping. As you inhale, lengthen yourself tall, lift your chin, and exhale as you are. And we'll open this practice with the sound of Om 3 times. Inhale. Okay, place your hands on your thighs, lift your chin, and open your eyes. Okay, so we're going to start. Our first pose will be Supta Baddha Konasana, and that's the soles of the feet together, knees open. We're going to lie over a bolster. So I'm going to just have my bolster right on the ground, but you're welcome to put a block underneath it. And let's see, I'll set up over here. Okay, so I have my bolster down. I have my heating pad. So I'll put that where my back is going to be. And then we'll take, so you're gonna have probably 4 blankets, sort of. Okay, so I'm gonna take 1 blanket from my head and I'm just gonna open it to this size. And then I'll just fold it into a third. And then I'll just roll it into like this, just a cylinder here. And I'm gonna have the opening side facing me. And this will be to support my head or my neck. And that way I can unroll if I need to make it less. Okay, then we'll have 2 more blankets for underneath either knee or thigh. And you could use blocks as well. And then the last blanket, if you have another blanket. If you don't have another blanket, well, you have another blanket. You're at home. So, okay. I'll just go grab another blanket. Do you want to?
No, I'm good. I got blocks.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, then the last blanket, I'm just going to do this facing you so you can see. Oh, we didn't massage our feet. Okay, we'll do that next. Then I'll take this blanket and I'll open it up. Bless me. Okay. And this one I'm going to put underneath the toes. So once I'm in it, you know, the soles of the feet are together, knees out to the side. You prop up. And then I'll take this blanket and I just want to bring the soles of the feet together and keep them together. So if I tuck a little blanket, then they might stay together better. And then you have this blanket you can cover yourself with. Okay, so hopefully that's good. So I'm just going to sit on the floor behind the bolster. And if the bolster is, you know, too much for your back, just shift your body forward a little bit so that the bolster comes up a little higher. Okay. And then you'll lie back, support your knees and your thighs, really nicely support them. You know, we've done a lot of hip work over the last few weeks. And so you might, you know, feel that you might be feeling that in your hip joints or hip creases. So if you take these blankets and you really bring them in right to the thighs or your blocks so that the legs are so supported that there's no pulling on the inner hip, inner thighs. Okay, and then cover yourself up in a nice way, whatever you need. Adjust that prop under your head so that you feel the head is supported and comfortable. And then if you have an eye pillow and you'd like to put that on, or even you could use anything to cover your forehead or your eyes if you like. So I have an eye pillow. I'll just put that on. I'll say another nice thing to do when you're doing a practice like this is even put on a toque or a little hat. And even though maybe I should have said that before you got yourself all in it. But that's just a nice way to kind of hold your energy. And especially, if you respond to the Chinooks, you tend to get migraines or headaches. Then doing this pose with a little hat on will probably be very helpful, maybe. I say maybe because those things are very subjective, but it's one thing you can try. Okay, once you're in this, then assuming everybody's comfortable, you take a nice full inhale. And then let that breath go like you're sinking in. And feel free to do that nice big inhale, full exhale, again a couple times if you like. And then once you're settled in, just embracing this opportunity of doing nothing. So if you feel yourself doing something, then just try and do less. Allow yourself to connect and be in your own inner world. Just do less. The soles of the feet together. The energy that we felt with our hands, that same energy is being transferred through the feet. Knees are resting, legs are relaxed. Just dropping into their support. Just resting deeply into the shape. The more you drop in and rest in, just being with the breath in whatever way makes sense. And for you at this moment, at this time, just allowing and inviting your breath to create that space for the body to rest. In a moment, we're going to turn the head to one side. So if you have an eye pillow on, you might be able to just readjust it, or you might want to take it off. And just as you are, you'll inhale and exhale fully. And then inhale and pause at the top of that inhale as you turn the head to the right. And as the head turns to the right, then exhale and rest there. Notice if that changes anything. And find the way in to resting just like this. Notice if you're holding tension in your jaw. And even in that left shoulder, left side of the neck. So invite your breath and your conscious connection to these places. Invite them to drop and to let go. As you're ready, as you inhale, you'll bring your head back to center. And then just pause here for a few breaths. And then you'll inhale, hold the breath at the top. And as you exhale, turn your head now to the left. And then inhale, bringing your head back to center. And then taking a few breaths in center. Rest deeply. And then as we start to journey from this pose, you start by wiggling your fingers, your toes, and just lift the knees up and place the feet on the floor. And we'll just take a few moments to just let everything come back, just resting like this. Okay, so carefully we're going to roll to one side. Then you'll make your way up to sitting. You can sit on that bolster end if you like, or just on the floor, on the ground. And just pause in your sit. Sit cross-legged or however you like. Let the hands rest. And we're going to take this to a little bit of a very gentle forward fold. Just as you are sitting on the bolster or on the floor, start to let your head drop down. And your hands will just come to support you towards the floor. We're just really looking to just release the back a little bit from that being on your back time. So you can keep your hands here, you can come down to your forearms, you can go all the way down, whatever works for you. Just letting the head go and back to round. And just take a few breaths, just like this. Just letting your head release a comfortable way. So there's no, maybe a little discomfort, but you're okay to let the head go. And very lovingly, just pressing yourself up and coming back to sitting. Okay. All right, so our next pose will be Shavasana 2, and it will be the same setup for the bolster. It's just this time you'll lie down with your legs either stretched out straight, and you can put a little bit of a blanket roll. You can make it like a similar blanket roll to what we did, and put that underneath your heels or your knees if you like. Okay. The other option is to come back in Virasana, and so it's not for everybody. But if you practice that, or you take your feet back and you know you can sit and then lie back. So it's either this one, if you know you practice it, it's part of your practice and you're comfortable. Otherwise, the legs are stretched out. Maybe you have support underneath your heels, a little light blanket, or underneath your calves as you do in some way. And then cover yourself up. So however you choose to be, legs out or and supported, or into Virasana, which is where I'm going to go. Okay. And then we'll come back, exact same head positioning and same advice about if this bolster doesn't feel good, although you've just been there, so you know, but I'll say it again anyway. You just move yourself away from the bolster a little bit. Okay, so now what we're doing is just changing the breath pattern. Oh, it's gonna rub the feet. Next, when we come over. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm just resting here. You can add your eye pillow or whatever you're using. So just going back into this very restful, quiet state of being. So do as little as possible. Nothing to do except to receive and invite and allow the body to let go of any extra stress and tension. You know, we all have it, no matter what. Just find it and say, okay, I can let you go. I can be soft here. Nowhere to go and nowhere to be. No one to be. Just be. Just be. Just beginning to waken the body, just gently moving your fingers, maybe your toes. Reaching your arms maybe over your head and stretching if you're right by the wall. You grab opposite elbows. Just allow this little bit of a stretch to happen. And then we'll settle the arms back down by their sides. And if you're in Virasana, then just sneaking the legs back out. And if your legs are stretched straight, then we'll all just meet in bent knees, feet on the floor. And again, just dropping in. A few breaths here. Letting the brain be soft. I mean, there's nothing you can do, that's just going to happen. Okay. And again, we'll roll to the side. So maybe you can roll to the other side, what you did before. And then we'll just come back up to sitting again. Change the cross of your legs, so whatever you had before. And then settle either on the bolster or on the floor. And we'll come back to that. Just, very gentle. Let the chin drop. Close your eyes. Let the jaw drop. And start to round forward. Taking your hands to the floor when the time is right. Just feeling that the head is heavy. It's guiding this. Maybe move to the forearms or all the way down, whatever works. Just doesn't need to be anything like what you do in your regular practice. It's just letting the head be very heavy. And again, lovingly walking yourself upright and then just pausing as you gently maybe open the eyes, even a little bit. Okay, so our next pose is supported Setu Bandha, and it's little bridge with the bolster and the 2 blocks. So I'm just, actually this blanket I've been using to cover myself, I'll just take it out of the way. No, let's pause and do our feet before we move in. So grab your oil, and if you're wearing your socks, just sneak them off. You just wake up the feet, bring them into this. Welcome. And take your oil, or whatever you have. We'll just start with just rubbing that whole foot all over. And I've been doing this for so many weeks now. You know this foot, and you know the parts that get tight. And maybe you're still getting to know them. That's good too. So just use your touch wherever you need it. And make sure you spend some time on each toe and the spaces between the toes. A lot of energy there. Remember, feel the energy in your hands, that the feet and the hands are both receptors. So they give off a lot, they receive a lot. So you're warming this energy. You're waking up parts of the foot that maybe don't get woken up. Just bringing in that pink, happy glow of a well-circulated foot. The foot is breathing. Okay. So if you haven't worked the heel, you can do that with the palm of your hand. You can just rub it, and you can also pinch it a little bit. And I'm just going to spend some time now and take the opposite hand into a fist and just run up and down the center of the foot, the inner arch of the foot, maybe all the way up to the base of the toes and down through the heel. And as I do this, soften your eyes, or as you do this, soften your eyes, your jaw, your breath. Good. Okay, so you want to feel that heat into that foot. Okay, I'm going to give it a nice little twist. Just both hands twisting. Good. Okay. And then we'll sock that up. You'll pause for a moment and feel the energy, the life in the feet. Okay. Every time you do it, you're going to notice that every time. Do the same with the second. So start by just bringing on all that oil and your touch, warming the foot. So use both hands. Give yourself like this is, it should feel good, right? It's your own touch. So you know how deep you can go and where you really want to spend your time. Make this like this great act of self-love. Hi, foot. How was your day? Can I rub your back? And as you're doing that, then make sure you spend time with each little piggy and the spaces between them. Yes. Okay, so coming back to the fist of the opposite hand, and I'm just going to trace with the knuckles up and down the sole of the foot, the middle of the foot. Might turn the hand a little bit, get different areas. And you're going to feel into, some stuff in your foot, get to know it. And start to feel into the warmth being I was going to say created, but it's not. It's there. So it's just being called forth, activated. Okay. Just a few more loving breaths. Okay, and then we'll give this foot some nice twists as well. And then when you're ready, we'll sock this one up. Oh, that is magic. Yeah, good. I like to give a little rub on top of the socks. Feels nice. Okay, so here we go. So here's the next one. So I'll take a blanket, and this is going to be for your head and your shoulders. So you could open it up. We open up nice and big. And okay, all right. I was going to add something, but I think I'm just going to start with just this. Let me just move this little puppy kid from the happy place to sleep. All right, so I'll just spread that out there. see. Good. Okay. And then I'll take my bolster, and it's going to go about, say, the end of the bolster is in the center of my mat. How's that? No. Yeah, that should work. No, wait. Maybe it's more than that. Center of my mat. It's mostly, I'll say like it's a little off center. It's mostly towards where my feet are going to go. And then I'll have that other blanket here for my head and my shoulders. And then underneath here at the back, I want to support my feet. So I'll take 2 blocks. And I'm just going to put them here at the end of my mat, like where my heels will rest on. And I'll take, now I have another blanket here. If you have the luxury of another blanket, then I'm going to just take this blanket and I'm just going to lay it over these blocks, just so that it's a little cushioned and they stay together. Just like that. Okay. Good. All right. Then we sit in the middle of the bolster, and you might have to adjust, where you put your bolster. So I'll sit in the middle of the bolster, just like that. And then I'm going to lie down. And as you come to lie down, you want to feel like your whole shoulders, so maybe the bottom of my ribs are at the bolster, and it could be a little more, but the whole shoulders, the head is on the floor. And then when I stretch the legs out, okay, it works. Like I'm right close to the wall, my feet are at the wall, but my legs are supported by the blocks. Okay, now I can feel that the bolster is down too far. I want to bring the bolster up. So I'll just bend the knees, lift the hips, grab the bolster, see if I can just slide it up a little bit if I can without having to come out. So, okay. So once you're in it, friend, I want you to feel, the back of the head on the floor, the upper chest on the floor, shoulders are on the floor. Okay, and then your head should be okay, but if you feel you need more, then you can reach up, grab that blanket, you can roll it underneath. The other thing you could do, you can put your eye pillow on, but if you don't have an eye pillow, you can even reach up, grab the end of the blanket, fold it over so that it covers just like your eyebrows and above. And that might feel really nice. So now the dog's sleeping on my blanket, so I'm not going to do that. But no, you would reach above. So if okay, I'm watching Heart bring these sides. I want to punch it underneath so I could lay out. Yeah. Okay, so it would just come from over top, and you would just lay it over your forehead. It doesn't really matter. That part's not so important. Okay. Then if you need a blanket to cover yourself with, bring that in. And I hope you're very comfortable. So now you feel it's like the last 2 poses we did, the chest and the head were supported. The back, chest, and head were supported on the bolster. Now we've switched it so that the legs, the hips and the legs are higher, and the heart, the head are lower. So, it could be called an inversion. We want to think about it that way. But hopefully you feel very relaxed, and if it's not super comfortable for you, then take the time and play with it. Create for yourself what you need. And then let your legs do whatever they need to do. I guess the other thing I may have done is put a belt around the thighs. So if you feel like holding the legs here is really challenging, then come out, and you're welcome to stay as you are, but if you're not sure, I'm just doing it. So you can take a peek if you're not sure. But if you don't need it, it's fine. So I just have a little loop. Just going to put it at the top of the thighs. And so just above the knees. And what that does, it just kind of keeps the legs together, so I don't have to worry about, not being supported properly. So if you feel fine without it, you're fine. You even wrap a blanket around your legs. That will help too. Okay, otherwise, here we are in this supported bridge pose. Let the head be heavy. So we're changing the flow. breath and fluid. And just as we start to drop in here, I'm just going to take your maybe dominant hand and take the index finger, middle finger, rest them on the third eye. And we'll start to just make a very light tracing of a circle around the center of your forehead. And it could be big, like you might be making a circle all the way from the brows to the hairline, and it might be smaller. Just rest into that, and you can keep circling, or if you want to just take your finger, maybe the index finger only to the center of your forehead, and maybe find that little Ash Wednesday place in your third eye. You can just kind of press in a little bit there. We might keep circling. Okay. And then gently release your hand back out. Okay, I'm going to do one more massage. I say one more, it might be more than one, but I'm going to introduce another little massage technique. And so from here, you're just going to cross your arms over your chest and take your hands and hold your earlobes. So the opposite finger and thumb are holding the opposite earlobes. Like the right hand is holding the left ear, left hand's holding the right. And if that's too much to cross the arms, then just uncross them, grab your earlobes. Gently draw the earlobes down a few times, like just very lightly. If you have earrings on, avoid as best as you can. And after you've done it maybe 3, 5, 10 times, then change the cross of the arms and do it again. Caressing your ears. Drawing the earlobes down. And then once you've done that a few times, release your arms back out. V. Have you now take your pinkies to their respective ears. So right pinky to right ear, left pinky to left ear. And just find that divot, right before, like in the inside of your ears. Just take the pinkies in there and gently draw the ears down as if, the inside of the ears, hopefully that you know exactly what I'm talking about. So they just fit in there. You can just give a gentle, just let the weight of the pinkies gently pull the ears down. And then release your hands back out or rest them on your tummy if you like. Just feel into that. And then we'll take the hands and I'm just going to ask you to massage your forehead, your temples in some way. So you might take the fingers all together, center of the forehead, and paint some lines. Center of the forehead to your temples, and give the temple space a little massage. Just do that a few times. Whatever you're doing, just massaging the forehead, the temples. And then again, bringing the hands to just rest as you just feel the effects of that. Okay, and then just coming back to your rest. So we'll just stay in this pose now for a little bit longer. Just preparing to come out of this. So again, just waking yourself up very gently through the fingers, the toes. And then bending the knees. If you did strap your legs, just slide it off and put on your feet. And then just coming to resting with the feet on the floor. You can stay on the bolster for maybe 1 or 2 more breaths. And then we'll come off the bolster. So you might lift your hips and just slide the bolster out from underneath you. If that doesn't work, then by all means, come on up and do what you have to do. Okay. Just take a few moments, friend, once you come down to just be on your back, just lying flat. Legs can stretch out or they can stay bent. You might even place them back on your supports if they're still there, but you don't have to. Just take a few moments and receive. Okay, and then we can bring the knees into the chest if you want to hug the knees in for a few moments, or just feet on the floor and you can rock the knees side to side. Just gently. Okay. So move into Shavasana from here. So if you don't want to come up to sitting, you don't have to, but if you need to adjust your props and make your way up. And so you might just come to lie flat out in whatever shape you like with whatever props. We could also do a little bit of legs up the wall, and about 10 minutes. Bless me every time we get here. So if you want to do legs up the wall, I'll let you know when we have 5 minutes left. You can put a support for under your hips, or you can just be flat on the floor. So either one. So find what you need to be comfortable, a blanket and your bolster. Okay, so however you've chosen to move into your rest, just take the time to get very comfortable, to feel the body is evenly placed. So there's not too much weight on one side or the other. And add your eye pillow if you like. Just resting into your own stillness and your own quiet. Savoring this time. Nothing to do, nowhere to be, just be. And staying as you are. If you'd like to shift into lying down Shavasana, then now would be the time. Awareness back to your breath. It's feeling the inhalation lift you up, and the exhalation invite you to drop in more deeply, more completely. Choosing to stay in your rest for longer, or beginning to make your way out just the same way we've been doing. Very gently journeying, following what your body wants to do. Rolling to your side and resting there for a few breaths before coming up. Sitting comfortably, just feeling into your energy, as if all that you felt between your hands, that awakened energy, is pulsating around you, completely surrounding you, holding you, reminding you that there is so much more to you than you see. So receiving that, this gift that you've gifted yourself. Join your palms together in front of your heart and bow your chin. As you inhale, lengthen tall. Exhale this breath completely. And I'll seal this practice with one inhale. Bow your chin and move yourself into one last little forward fold. Just let the head drop as a way of just honoring everything, bowing down to yourself, to this practice. Okay, and then you'll bring yourself up, hands at your heart. And gently open your eyes. Shanti, peace. Take a full breath. Breathe into your hands. Catch that breath and offer it to yourself and then offer it out. You have beautiful sleeps, my friends. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste and so much love.